Broadcasting live. It's America's longest running talk show on computers. It's Computer America, bringing you the biggest names in technology with guest interviews, new products, and your emails. Listen live at computeramerica.com on any device around the world. Email the show at live@computeramerica.com or find us on social media. Be sure to check out our website for contests, giveaways, show notes, live video stream, podcasts, and more. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome everyone into the Computer America Show. We are the nation's longest running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers and technology. Everyone, how you doing? Welcome into the program. Today on the show, we have computer and technology news, headlines, and these are going to be great. We're going to keep this short and sweet. We got some great stories that you definitely want to hear about. But everyone, I hope that you're having a fantastic day and you are ready for the program. First things first, computeramerica.com. That's where you'll find everything, past shows, future shows, everything you need to know, articles, reviews, social media links, podcasts, contests, and more. I don't have a contest currently running, but hey, in the near future, definitely planning on it. So stay tuned for that. Now, while you go ahead and check out our website, let's go ahead and get started with Computer Technology News, brought to you by Computer America. And we're going to start out with a funny one. I actually find this one hilarious. Now, for those who are affected, this is not going to be as hilarious, but I've never heard of something like this. And it really, it's not every day that you do this on the daily and you see something completely new to you. So on your screen, the image, of course, that Ars Technica is using is a brick and with the word Mazda on it. And you think, brick, Mazda? Well, to brick something means it's essentially a brick. There's nothing more to it. There's no more life. And that is what a particular radio station did to people's infotainment systems in their Mazdas. Like I said, this one is so strange. They're saying that some Mazda owners in Seattle area are stuck with bricked infotainment systems after listening to a particular radio station. So, and let's face it, the West Coast, Seattle, NPR, this is going to affect a number of people. They say that the problem began January 30th and it afflicted Mazdas from model years 2014 to 2017. It's kind of weird to hear about a story that, 5 to 8 years ago, your car might have a problem later, but here we have it. Cars that were tuned to the station KUOW or 94.9 FM at some point, if they were tuned in at some point during the day on January 30th, their infotainment system crashed. And the problem is it became trapped in a rebooting loop, never successfully completing the task. When afflicted owners took their cars to be checked at the local Mazda dealer, they were told that the connectivity master unit was dead and needed to be replaced. Again, a day that I haven't heard a lot of these connectivity master units. Well, that was from the signal that KUOW sent out during that day. Now, the problem, the CMU cost about $1,500 if you can even find one because of supply chain problems, although more so, you could get a new one, but how many of those are really in used cars in good condition anyways? So they mentioned that the problem, according to Mazda, was the radio station that sent out image files in its HD radio stream that did not have extensions, and it seems that Mazda's infotainment system of that generation needs an extension and not just a header to tell what a file is. No extension, no idea, and the system gets corrupted. Honestly, this seems like a Mazda failing. Clearly, after 2017, they fixed that, but just think about that. They sent out, instead of like a .jpeg or .png or .whatever, they chopped off the extension of those files, and any modern, it really sounds like any older car would just go What image file? It's radio. Who cares? Newer cars will go, hey, it's an image, or hey, it's a file that we don't recognize. We're going to throw it away. We don't care. But of this particular one, it just caused the whole infotainment system to crash and burn. The Seattle Times contacted KUOW and Xperi, a technology company that is responsible for HD radio, and they said that they were aware of the issue. Mazda told Ars that it has currently distributed service alerts to dealers advising them about the problem, and although replacement MCUs are currently delayed, they should be replaced free of charge. So yeah, all they have to do is contact their local Mazda dealer and they can work on it from there. But man, that was completely new to me, and I thought kind of hilarious, really, when you think about it. Let's go ahead, just skip right on into the next story, and this one should be a no-brainer for a lot of people. Last month, Microsoft purchased Acquisition Blizzard. Purchased Activision Blizzard, not acquisition, Activision Blizzard. And one of the biggest question marks about that whole deal was the fact that, well, Call of Duty, what happens? It's available on Xbox, it's available on PlayStation, I think it's available on the Switch, and it's available on PC. What's going to happen to the largest video game franchise ever? Is it going to be pooled? Is it going to be an Xbox exclusive? Is it going to be a PC exclusive? How is that going to work? Well, after so many people speculating and saying, "Oh, this is the end of, this is the end of PlayStation, or this is the end of Call of Duty," nope. Microsoft came out and wrote in a blog post that Microsoft will continue to make Call of Duty and other popular Activision Blizzard titles available on PlayStation through the term of any existing agreement with Activision. And they say that, and we have committed to them that we will also make it available for the future, like even beyond the current deals. So it will be available even beyond then. I think it's so obvious that they would go with this, because if Microsoft had the true cojones, the unmitigated testicular fortitude to pull Call of Duty from PlayStation, they would bring down so many regulators' ire, their wrath, and say, well, we weren't going to investigate you for antitrust to begin with, although I think they're still being investigated for this whole deal. But the fact that you're trying to take what was one of the biggest franchises and make it your exclusive, man, that seems very anti-competitive natured. So they weren't going to do that to begin with, and they aren't going to do that now. And really the only news here is that they are going to continue to make it available for future releases, or make it available to Sony in the future. That's the big news. I think anyone who thought otherwise was just kind of being a little disingenuous with themselves. So with that being said, there's one more Microsoft announcement, which we can kind of couple this together with that, and it has to do with Microsoft announces open App Store rules to prove it's okay with the new laws. So they mention a number of reasons why Microsoft is doing this: quality, safety, security, privacy, accountability, fairness and transparency, developer choice. Essentially, Microsoft didn't have the greatest marketplace to begin with. If you wanted to buy software on a Windows PC, you went through Steam, or you went directly to their website. You didn't really go through the Microsoft App Store, as opposed to the Android App Store, or the Google Play Store, or the Apple iTunes / iOS Store. Pretty much all of their competitors, or the Sony PlayStation Store for that matter, all of their competitors had a better foothold in the App Store kind of arena. And now Microsoft is getting out ahead of all of them because there's new legislation to open up the payment methods. Apple can't lock down the payment method for developers. If they want to redirect them to their own website or other services and then have them pay through that, Apple can't restrict that anymore. Microsoft's getting out ahead and saying, I agree, this is a great change when they have almost no skin in the game. So Microsoft is, opening up their App Store to third-party payments. They're opening up their App Store to allow other people to publish their games or take their games out of the Microsoft App Store. They're just really throwing the doors open for their own App Store, which, has so many benefits and so few drawbacks. Like, the main drawback everyone else is going to have is that they don't get a bigger portion of the sales. But let's face it, Microsoft already makes little to nothing when it comes to App Store sales, because people don't buy things through the Windows App Store. So yeah, this is a good win for Apple, for Apple. This is a good win for Microsoft and puts pressure on everyone else in a really good way. Like, this is a great strategic move. They mentioned that Microsoft is making a timely commitment to openness, but not upending its game ecosystem just yet. So there you go. Yep. I think that's a good move for Microsoft, and yeah, like I said, it puts pressure on everyone else to really think about what they're doing as well. Without further ado, today there was a big Samsung press conference. I didn't pay attention to any of it, just to be clear, but I did find this article from Engadget. Samsung Galaxy S22 and the S22 Plus, two flagship phones that to a lot of people are better than any iPhone out there. But when it comes to flagship phones, these are really your choices, the iPhone or these. So let's check this out. They say that the Galaxy S22 Ultra might be the star of the Unpacked event, but the regular models will be the company's bread and butter, and it's good to see that they've received substantial upgrades of their own. You have the 6.1-inch S22 and the 6.6-inch S22 Plus may look similar to the S21 family, but they include a 50 megapixel rear camera with a sensor that's 23% larger. Your night photos should fare much better, and you can expect a 10 megapixel telephoto camera with 3x optical zoom. So optical and digital. Optical is an actual physical moving part. It's where the lens actually, gets better, more magnified, as opposed to digital, where it just takes a super high resolution image and it just digitally zooms in. It cuts out parts of the photo and crops the photo that that you really don't want. So if you ever get the chance, if your camera zooms, take everything in the maximum optical zoom and don't digitally zoom, because you can always digitally zoom later. You can always cut that out later. So yeah, 3x optical zoom, that's really impressive. And so the camera's better, and I believe it's decently faster. Optical zoom better than digital zoom? Absolutely. If you optical zoom, you can always digital zoom later, but if you digital zoom, you cannot unzoom it later. So always be sure to do that. Now, let's see. What improvements do we have? More durable armor aluminum frame, so a little bit better. Corning Gorilla Glass Victus Plus, so less shatter resistant on the screen. The backing is still plastic, though 20% of the component key bracket is made from recycled fishnets, so yay sustainability. There's some recycled material in the speakers. The design isn't quite as eye-catching as the two-tone look of the S21 model. If you're looking at the video, doesn't look bad. But yeah, three cameras on the back, that whole good stuff. Comes in multiple colors: white, pink, black, and like teal. It won't surprise you to hear that the rest of the improvements are more subtle. You'll find a 4 nanometer processor, paired with 8 gigs of RAM, still using the 120 hertz AMOLED display. But the improved peak brightness of 1300 nits and 1750 nits for the S22 should help with outdoor viewing in HDR. So great improvement to screen brightness. As for the battery power, you're looking at 3,700 for the smaller one, 4,500 for the bigger one, which should give you a full day's charge. Hopefully, maybe. Samsung releases both devices February 25th, and you're looking at $800 for the S22 and $999 for the S22 Plus. And I think the Galaxy S22 Ultra, let's see, I think that's what it was, right? Let's see, here we go. Yeah, it's the S22 Ultra actually looks quite a bit different. So instead of having just like, the one flash with the 3 cameras, it has 2 additional sensors as well to kind of tack on to that. Let's go ahead and throw this up on the video portion. Doot, right there. You can see what they look like there. Now, from a pure hardware perspective, this one comes with a 100x space zoom technology. And this is, we've moved on from the S22 regular. Now this is the Ultra. So the Ultra has a 10x optical zoom, very, very good, plus 10x digital zoom, which is kind of whatever. The 10x optical zoom, though, for a camera is super impressive. Let's see. They mentioned that, so that's for its 108 megapixel main camera, and while so the author talks about his time with it. Additionally, for people who have portrait mode, S22 Ultra gets a new AI stereo depth map feature. Blah, blah, blah. Camera. Yep, Wi-Fi 6E, 5G connectivity, 5,000 milliamp battery pack. Let's see. 12 gigs of RAM. 1 terabyte of onboard storage, no headphone jack or micro SD slot. So if you're hoping for those, no such luck. But for me, the most encouraging thing is, yep, there you go, $1,200 on top of that. So pre-orders start, but I've heard that the pre-ordering site doesn't exactly work. With Photoshop All Managers, yep, exactly. They look really good. Honestly, they look really, really good when it comes to phones. If you're hoping for a headphone jack, you're SOL. If you are hoping for expandable storage, you're kind of out of luck. But the phones themselves are very, very clean, and it's nice to see that they're not just trying to be another iPhone. It's they look great. They really do. And the huge focus on the camera, I think if you're a photo buff, these might be some of the best phones you could get for that. I know you're hoping for those, but no such luck. Okay, so with that being said, we have 2 more stories. We'll cover these real quick. This one's just a rumor, but it's even more confirmation. It's, kind of juicing us a little bit that Apple source code references RealityOS for potential VR and AR headset. And they have a screenshot here on Twitter saying that this at least confirms has its own OS and binaries, and it has a RealityOS simulator. And they have target feature, RealityOS, platform, RealityOS simulator. So there you go. Apple force pushed the repo to hide this, but someone grabbed the commit hash already. So they tried to keep this under wraps a little bit. They tried to replace the update to make sure no one could see this. But man, once you publish something publicly, they're not going to. It's out there forever. Now, they said that this at least confirms blah, blah, blah. We covered all that. The existence of such an OS was first reported by Bloomberg back in 2017 and is reportedly known internally as Oak. The OS nomenclature would be logical given the name of Apple's OS, Mac OS, iPad OS, TV OS, and Watch OS. Now you have Reality OS as well. However, the most recent rumor from Bloomberg suggests that the headset will be delayed until 2023 due to development issues like overheating. They'll reportedly offer computing power on par with an M1 Mac and could be standalone without the need for a tether, which, given if Apple were to do something like this, Apple loves to get rid of things. And if they could get rid of anything, I think the need for a secondary computer to run VR goggles, that sounds like a very Apple thing to do. And of course, on top of that, they'd probably charge $2,000 for them. But yeah, I could totally see that happening. Now, if the references are real, they could suggest that developers are getting or will be getting access to the OS. And they warned, however, that they could just be a remnant of somebody's pull request from a fake account. So take it with with some skepticism, but I believe. Yo believo. You know the old saying. Okay. So I think that's about it. I was going to cover this one about SpaceX and the whole satellites that got lost to the solar wave, but let's just say they weren't in position. They weren't where they were going to eventually be, and a coronal mass ejection, kind of pushed them a little bit too close. A big wave of photons and electrons just pushed it out of where it should have been, and led to the end result of about 40, I want to say. Yeah, about 40 SpaceX satellites crashing into the atmosphere. But of course, these things are so small, they vaporized long before they were a danger to anyone. So, yep, last week's geomagnetic storm hit a day after launch. So, there you go. Not bad. I mean, they have 2,000 satellites up. They just lost about 40. And yeah, they're hoping to get 12,000 and maybe get permission for another 30,000 satellites. I mean, 40 here or there, just won't really matter that much in the end. But it is pretty interesting to think about, hey, space isn't just space. You don't just put stuff up there and it stays up there forever. No, you have many, many, many forces throwing them off, and throwing them off their orbit. So there you go. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap that up. We won't even include that one in the show notes. That's been covered other places. Let's go ahead and wrap that up. So everyone, thank you for tuning in. I wanted to keep this one short, and I think I did a pretty good job of that. Today was a light news day, but everyone, if you want to join us, hey, twitch.tv/Computer America might be the best way lately. We're broadcasting Monday through Friday, hopefully 8 hours a day. Join us, ask questions. We've had a lot of you come in and just ask us and hang out with us. It's been a lot of fun. We encourage you to do that. In the meantime, everyone, have a great day. Thank you so much. ComputerAmerica.com. Bye, everyone.